It's pretty exciting to think about all of the things that you have left in your life to accomplish. The vast road is as endless as the road that you see behind me. But, I honestly thought as I was growing up that I had a great childhood. I didn't think my life was any different than anyone else's, and I didn't think the things I had to overcome were, well, things that everyone else wasn't overcoming. And it wasn't until many years later in life that I'd come to discover that the things that I had to face and the things I had to go through were unique to me. But I guess that's the thing is that you can take the things that you face in life and you can see them as a negative. You can see them as the reason why you don't succeed or why you don't have the things that you want to have. Or you can see them as things that you overcome. I didn't necessarily want to ever be a victim. And I think that was my biggest goal, is that I wanted to have everything I was going to have, and I didn't want there to ever be an excuse as to why I didn't have it, unless, quite honestly, I'd given everything I could and just simply wasn't able to attain what I was looking for. You see, I always wanted to be a 7th grade teacher. There's something pretty cool about being a middle school teacher. But that path was not an easy one. Getting here, sometimes I wonder how I got here. You see, for me growing up, my life wasn't easy. I had an abusive father, my parents divorced. I remember police being involved. I remember my mother not having a job, and I remember many talks of potential homelessness. I remember the idea that, wow. I got notification when I was in 7th grade, sitting in the back of my 7th grade English classroom, and was notified that my father had been killed in a car crash when I was 13. It was hard. I lost a mentor. I lost a person who was providing me with a little bit of direction, and I suddenly discovered that without that direction, I was a little directionless. I decided to go in the Air Force, probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. And when you look at that path and you look at what direction you can go, is that I had no idea that that was something that was even available to me, but I listened. I listened to those around me. And I was driven. I was driven not by college or by grades or even by a career that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was driven by the fear that I was going to go nowhere. I make it through my Air Force career, and as the story should go, happily ever after, correct? I got my 7th grade teaching position out in a county called Powhatan. I was teaching 12 and 13-year-olds just like I'd always wanted to do, and you can't possibly think that I could need for anything. And May 25th of 2004 was by far the hardest day I'd ever lived through. His name was Aiden. He was 3 months and 1 day old when I discovered that he had passed away. The doctors told us it was SIDS. I hope no one ever has to go through something like that. And it changed everything. I love my remaining son just that much more. I gave him all that I could give him, knowing that every moment could very well be my last. Look, I think what it is that I'm trying to state is that, much like what Cinderella says on page 190 of Land of Stories, she says, not too many people were thrilled with the idea of a servant girl becoming their queen. That I think sometimes we need to stop and we need to remember that social media and what we see on TV and what we see on film is not real life. And we need to remember that the path that we have to walk sometimes will be easy and filled with tremendous reward, and other times it will be filled with tragedy and loss. And regardless of what path it is that you're to walk, I think the thing that I learned, much like a fairy godmother that came along and helped Cinderella, is that the resume that I built, the things that I've done, the things that I've accomplished, I needed help at many different points along the way. When you need help, ask. If you want help, seek it out. And if you have a friend that's offering some advice, be humble sometimes to stop and listen, because you just never know who's giving you that path that might lead you to something really amazing. Thank you.